you ever worked under someone who made you feel motivated, valued, and unstoppable? Or maybe you've had the opposite experience, someone who made every day frustrating, confusing, or even unbearable. What made the difference? It wasn't their job title, their salary, or even their years of experience. It was their leadership. Here's the truth. Leadership isn't about power, it's about influence. And the best part? It's a skill you can develop, starting today. The world's most successful leaders follow daily habits that set them apart, habits that anyone can adopt. If you want to stand out, create impact, and earn the respect of those around you, then this video is for you. Stick around until the end, because the final habit is the one most people ignore, but it's the key to earning trust and lasting success as a leader. Number 1, start your day with a vision. Have you ever noticed that the most influential people seem to have unshakable clarity on where they're going? That's not an accident. Every morning, take a moment to define what success looks like for the day. What's the one thing you must accomplish? How do you want to show up for others? Vision directs energy. Without it, you're just reacting to whatever life throws at you. This doesn't have to be complicated. Some leaders write down their goals, others pray for wisdom, and some visualize their future. The point is, a clear vision turns ordinary people into extraordinary leaders. Number 2, master the art of listening. Have you ever spoken to someone and felt like they were just waiting for their turn to talk? That's not leadership. That's self-importance. True leaders listen more than they speak. They ask great questions, seek to understand, and make people feel heard. Listening is the secret weapon of influence. When people know you value their perspective, they'll respect yours. Try this today. In your next conversation, resist the urge to interrupt. Instead, ask, "Tell me more about that." You'll be surprised how much stronger your connections become. 3, take responsibility for everything. One of the fastest ways to lose credibility as a leader is to blame others when things go wrong. Great leaders do the opposite. They own their mistakes, learn from failures, and set the standard for accountability. Have you ever noticed that in the Bible, leaders weren't chosen because they were perfect? They were chosen because they were willing. Willing to take responsibility, willing to grow, and willing to serve a bigger mission. True leadership isn't about control, it's about stewardship. So next time something doesn't go as planned, instead of pointing fingers, ask, "What can I learn from this?" That mindset shift alone will set you apart. 4, lead with energy and enthusiasm. Ever walked into a room and immediately felt the energy shift because of one person? That's the power of leadership presence. People are drawn to energy, confidence, and passion. If you want to lead, you need to bring enthusiasm to what you do, whether it's speaking in a meeting, motivating your team, or simply tackling your daily work. And here's the thing, you don't have to feel like it every day, but leaders don't wait for motivation, they generate it. Number 5, make decisions quickly and confidently. How many opportunities are lost because someone was too hesitant to make a decision? Successful leaders understand that indecision is still a decision, and often the worst one. That doesn't mean being reckless, but it does mean having the courage to make a call, even when you don't have all the answers. A good rule of thumb? If you're 70% sure, make the decision. You can adjust along the way, but waiting for absolute certainty will keep you stuck. 6, invest in learning every day. Have you ever noticed that the most successful people are also the most curious? Leadership isn't about knowing everything. It's about being a lifelong learner. Whether it's reading, listening to podcasts, or seeking mentorship, daily learning sharpens your thinking and expands your perspective. A great habit to start? Set aside just 15 minutes a day to read something that challenges you. Over time, this small habit will separate you from 99% of people. What's the best book or podcast you've learned from recently? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your recommendations. 7, strengthen your faith and character. Here's a truth most people overlook. Your leadership can only grow as strong as your character. No amount of skill can compensate for a lack of integrity. Leadership is about trust, and trust is built on consistency, honesty, and a foundation of values. This is why many of the world's greatest leaders have a faith practice. It keeps them grounded. Whether it's prayer, meditation, or simply reflecting on your principles, make time for something that strengthens your inner foundation. Because if you lose that, you lose everything. 8, embrace responsibility, not blame. Ever worked with someone who always had an excuse? Someone who, the moment something went wrong, pointed fingers instead of owning up? That's not a leader. That's a victim mentality. Real leaders take responsibility. If something fails under their watch, they don't waste time blaming others. They own it, learn from it, and focus on solutions. Ask yourself, when things go wrong, do you take responsibility or do you look for someone else to blame? 9, build others up, not just yourself. A weak leader wants to be the smartest person in the room. A strong leader creates an environment where everyone around them grows. Great leaders mentor, empower, and uplift others. They recognize talent, encourage potential, and celebrate wins that aren't just their own. Here's the test. Are you leading in a way that helps others rise, or are you just focused on getting ahead yourself? The more you pour into others, the stronger your leadership becomes. 10. Maintain unshakable integrity. Leadership without integrity is like a house without a foundation. It will collapse. Integrity isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent in your values, whether people are watching or not. It means your word is your bond. It means you don't compromise your ethics for short-term gain. Because here's the truth. People can spot a fake leader a mile away. The question is, are you building trust or slowly eroding it? 11. Stay adaptable in changing times. Think about how much the world has changed in the last 5 years. The leaders who thrived, they adapted. The ones who failed, they resisted change. The best leaders aren't rigid. They pivot, adjust, and stay ahead of the curve. They're open to learning, willing to try new things, and humble enough to admit when a new approach is needed. Ask yourself, are you clinging to old ways out of comfort, or are you embracing growth? 12. Serve before you lead. The strongest leaders don't lead for power, they lead to serve. In faith, the most impactful figures weren't just rulers, they were servants to their people. The best leaders in history weren't just about authority. They were about guiding, helping, and making life better for others. If you want to be a great leader, start by asking, how can I serve? How can I add value? When people see that your leadership is about more than just yourself, they will follow you, not because they have to, but because they want to. Final thoughts. Leadership isn't about titles, it's about actions. And every habit you build today will shape the kind of leader you become tomorrow. Which of these habits do you think is the most important? Or do you have another leadership habit that has changed your life? Comment below and share your thoughts. If this video gave you some insight, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on powerful lessons like these. And if you're serious about taking your success to the next level, watch the next video, 10 Mindsets That Create Millionaires Forever. Because before you can earn like a millionaire, you need to think like one.